10 after 8 in the morning, and we're getting ready to head out, as you can probably tell. Let's check the weather real quick, and hopefully my Garmin loads quickly. Sometimes it's hit or miss, sometimes it takes forever, and sometimes it's instant. So maybe it'll be instant today. Just knows I'm recording, so it probably won't. Look at this. 14 degrees. This is actually, compared to what it's been the last week, blistering hot. It's been single digits with a feel of like negative whatever for the last few days. It's been really rough, plus it's been windy, and then tack that on to the fact that the trails are just covered in snow and ice, and it's just kind of a miserable experience. But I find that it's gonna be a slow one today. It's not moving at all. I find that after a few miles, you kind of just settle in and accept it. And most of the time, it's actually not that bad. Sometimes it is really bad. Like from the moment you start till the moment you end, you're just kind of in agony. In the worst places. I'm sure you can use your imagination. We have a big day of training today. So let's just go knock out the first run, eh? Okay, was about to head out, but little bro's got the zoomies, so hey. Oh my god, oh my god. Fuck me. Whew. 12 miles. Solid 12 to start the day. But man, I'm gonna be so happy when the snow's gone. You get no return on it. You just have to work so much harder to move. But I'll take this over running on a treadmill. Fuck that. And I can barely talk right now, so I'm gonna go warm up so my mouth works again. Oh my goodness. Look who's waiting. Hi, buddy. Right on cue every time. He just knows. So I work in a couple hours. I only have to do a half day today. I know, poor me. A 3 to 7 shift. How am I gonna manage? I've gotta run some errands and do some things before we get there. And then we'll get into the beef of this video. I'm gonna let my car sit here for a minute. And the reason why is the last few days I've been kind of shitting bricks. I'm too afraid to drive it because I think it has something to do with the cold, because I was driving all over Timbuktu through the city all weekend. No issues. This car has been great for the last few years that I've had it. It's just one thing is all it takes to just like change your whole perspective. I was backing out of the driveway. I was going to work actually, and literally, the moment my little butt hit the road, the car just shut off. The engine just stopped. And I was floating. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I turned the car off, turned it back on. It was fine, I guess. And then I pulled back into the driveway, told my boss, I'm like, hey, I don't think I can make it today. I think it's good. I drove around the neighborhood and the town a little bit last night just to gauge it, and just praying. More so, yeah, I don't want to spend money to get it fixed if something happens, because this car has almost 207,000 miles on it. Like, it's not really worth it. but at the same time, I'm not in the business of getting a car at the moment. And also, it would be really damn embarrassing for the thing to just go in the middle of an intersection. So I'm trying to avoid that. But anyway, I think we're good. Wish me luck. We gotta go get some groceries because I wanted to do it a couple days ago, but like I said, was kind of too afraid. We gotta go do it now. There's just, Crash needs food, I need food. I've been starving. I've been like a little vulture the last few days because of this. Update, we are almost here. It's right ahead. We are still rolling. I am kind of shitting bricks right now. I'm really stressed because I no longer have the safety net of being on a back road. I'm in a public space. Lots of cars around me if something goes wrong, but I need to think positive. This video is about positivity. Positive vibes all around. When that happened, the first thing that I thought was, oh my God, the transmission went. Because when I was younger, I was in the minivan, the family minivan, the thing that I was always so embarrassed of because it had like tape on the back because my mom would just like wreck into things. She was a terrible driver, you know, really breaking stereotypes here. Sorry, woman. When that went, it was in like a big crowded parking lot and I was so embarrassed already. And then you tack this on, I hopped into the trunk and I let her deal with that shit, dude. This is like a total nightmare for me if this happens, so. Whew! What a rush that was. We made it. We made it. It was like a 4-mile drive, but we're alive. We live to fight another day. That one hurt. That one hurt real bad. You know what I'm talking about when you go out shopping and you realize you're out of everything. I'm talking everything from toothpaste and deodorant to strawberries and potatoes to your dog needs to eat. It's just a total nightmare, but should be good for a while, which is awesome. I was real happy when I got to the chicken pot pie section and I saw that these guys were on a killer sale. Every time I come here, I walk out with a chicken pot pie unless inflation gets to it. Sometimes they're like $5.99 and I'm just like, man, I can't swing that shit. But when they're $4.99, I'm like, hell yeah, count me in. They were like $3.50 today, so I got a couple of them. Got a bunch of stuff. Trust me, I don't just eat chicken pot pies, believe me. So let's start up the car. We'll do the same thing we did to get here. Idle for a moment and then pray to God. Arrived at work. Should probably lock my car. Not that anybody's gonna break into it, but can never be too safe, right guys? I haven't been here in a week because last weekend, you should check out my last video, you'll see why. You ready, buddy? You wanna see Percy? Oi! Guess I should go clock in and get my moolah, eh? Only been gone a week and I feel like I haven't been here in forever.
I sold a couple, yeah.
A few moments later.
Another shift in the bag. Let's get going. You ready? He's ready. I'm gonna be honest, I had plans to record more, but there was just this steady flow of people, I just couldn't really do it. So, that's okay. See you guys.
You guys suck.
See you tomorrow.
The three of you suck.
You suck.
Live.
Alright, let's go, buddy. Come on, this way. Good boy. I guess I'll see you home in a few. It's time for run number 2 of the day. It's 7:30 and I don't want to go out there right now. It's cold and dark and lonely, but we gotta do it. It's part of the game. I've got my New Balance Sierras on for this one. I've just been swapping my 2 trail shoes pretty much every day. I don't want to fall. That's the last thing I want to do is fall. It's really cold, but it's just 5 miles. It'll be done soon. Just gonna run around the town, the neighborhood. It'll be hilly, but we got this. Five miles, 17 on the day. What a solid day. Oh my gosh. It is so clear out tonight. It was actually quite beautiful, quite peaceful. The quietness is actually really nice, and I was literally just like looking at the stars the whole time. Not to like sound like some twat on the Hallmark Channel, but yeah, it's quite pretty. And because it's so cold out, there's no assholes out there even on a Friday night to yell run Forrest run or some other bullshit. You know how it is. They make fun of your outfit during the summer. It's like nice short shorts, insert a certain word. I've actually taken the theme of today's video quite seriously, and I've taken all day to sort of think about this question, why do I run? Why do I do it? And everybody has their different reasons. There's a lot of obvious ones. It's really just, for me, a conglomerate of many things, and I've even taken the time to put down some notes so I don't forget. I want to kind of get this right, because this is kind of an important question for me to answer, I feel like, because one, it's such a big part of my life. First and foremost, obviously, physicality. I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. You want inside? I want to have good heart health. I want to keep that heart rate low. A couple years ago, I went into the hospital for myocarditis, unrelated to COVID. We're not going to get into that political bullshit, but I remember it was hard to breathe, and they wanted to put me on oxygen, but they couldn't because my heart rate was so naturally low. And I take a lot of pride in that because I worked for that low heart rate. I've ran tens of thousands of miles. I have no way of knowing how many miles I've run, but I've put in so much effort, and although I don't feel like I have much to show for it, at the same time, I feel like I'm blessed now that I'm able to run so fluidly and naturally. As of late, I really feel the fitness coming along, and I just feel like I'm gliding. It feels so nice. And for those of you that get to experience that after working really hard, you have to work really hard to get to that point. And when you do, you just feel like you've earned it. There's no half-assing this. You can show up to the line of a race and be the best guy there and win every time, but if you're skipping runs, in the back of your mind, you know, yeah, I could have done more. Or at least that's how I feel. Yeah, it's nice to look good. That's more subjective because I'm very scrawny from running all of these miles, and I have friends and they are friends. They're all quote unquote meatheads. They have a more conventional frame that the ladies like, I guess. I'm a guy with a thigh gap and little arms. That's just part of the game, I guess. But you know what? I'm proud of that sort of image I've developed. I've developed this body through a lot of hard work, and just because I look small, I feel like I'm really strong. And not to mention, there's a mental game to this as well. I have I have insecurities like everybody else, but I would have so many more if I wasn't doing this. When I go out in public or what have you, I have this sense of confidence because not only do I know who I am and what I like and that I'm pursuing it as hard as I can most of the time, I feel a sense of meaning and self-worth that I'm sure a lot of people are missing, and that's one trait that I've always seemed to have, even when things get really shitty. So, running has brought me a lot of good health, and as an avid journaler, I talk about it on this channel from time to time. Because I journal every night, I'm able to pick up on patterns with things. So, for instance, if I notice I'm in a bit of a slump and things are really just rough and I feel down in the dumps, I can look at it and be like, oh, I'm not doing this, or I've been doing this every day. Let's change that. Whenever I'm not running, I literally mean this, my mental health, not just the physical, everything just falls apart, and it falls apart quickly. So it's important that I do this. I don't have to do it to the degree that I like to do it. 17 miles today is not necessary, but just getting out here in the dark, looking at the stars, or getting up in the morning and watching the sunrise and everything in between, that is a total game changer for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people that do this, you understand as well. You can just go out for a walk. It's so damn cold out, and this is what I appreciate about this is why I like going out here, not just because I have a vendetta against treadmills. Think of all the weeks that I would not be really stepping outside at all, other than just walking from my car to where I work or into Chipotle or something. You don't get to experience the outdoors and sort of what it is to be human. This is what we came from out here. Inside, that's not, I mean, yeah, shelter is cool, but you need to be outside for a period of time every now and again. It's good for you. It's good for the soul. There's also other aspects that are really important. Obviously, I get this creative element. I've always been fascinated with cameras. I was posting Call of Duty videos when I was really young before it was cool. I know I'm so hipster, right? But now that I don't have as much time to game, and it's not really a focal point anyway, even if I had the time, I still get my video fix. I still get to play around and be creative, and not to mention, I've met so many cool people through here doing this that I love to chat with. So, keep commenting away. Like, seriously, I love talking to you guys about this, and of course I incorporate a bunch of other stuff into my videos. I'm just having a lot of fun with it. I guess that's my sort of selfish bit. I am a little bit selfish when it comes to it. It's a little boost to the ego as well, putting this stuff out here. It helps keep me going too. I use that to my advantage. It's a lot harder to run 17 miles when I'm doing it alone, so it's a double-edged sword, I guess. I think of all of these things that I've done as well, and it might sound silly at first. I did the 4x4x48 challenge during COVID. I've done like these challenge videos, and actually I look back on these times quite fondly. I don't know, it's just being surrounded. I've been surrounded by this sport for so long. I grew up running, playing soccer, I was always very active, and then of course went to college, ran there, and then just getting to pick up after college, after thinking it was all said and done. I didn't know what to do. Just getting a job at Pro Bike and Run. I've just been surrounded by this for basically my whole life. At least over half of it. It's kind of crazy when I think about it. So, in a sense, I really don't know any other life. And I say this all the time, but this really is not my life. It's just a big chunk of it. So, don't take that personally. I have such a love-hate relationship with this sport, just running in general. You think I want to go out here and run all the time? Maybe like once in a blue moon I get back, I'm like, wow, that was actually enjoyable. It's not like that really ever. But afterwards, it's always the same thing. I'm like, I'm glad I did that. And then a couple more things. It just quiets my mind. It's a form of meditation, and I don't like that word. I think it's thrown around a little too much, but I really do think it calms my nerves. I have so much anxiety, and it levels me out. On top of that, you know, I get the highs and the anxiety of competition. I always have a goal set, at least some sort of race planned months in advance. I don't race often, but I love racing. I want to get out there more this year. And that's pretty much it. That's in a nutshell, a very long nutshell, why I run. Now, let's go inside because I am starving. I've got chicken pot pies in the fridge and I am cold. The lighting was decent out here though, so that's why I'm actually sitting here. It's really not that deep.